Muhammad Ali was born in Louisville, Kentucky in 1942 of Cassus Marcellus Clay Jr. He was born in a family of African American and quarter-Irish descent. He was introduced to boxing at the age of 12 and soon entered amateur records at the National AAU and Golden Gloves Championship. He returned to the professional league, taking the gold medal in heavy lightweight in Rome in 1960. At the age of 18, after winning the gold medal of the Rome Olympics, his reputation began to grow. At the age of 22 in 1964, he defeated S. Liston and became world champion. He announced that he changed his religion after this victory and converted to Islam. He took the name Mohammed Ali and had to take a break from his beloved boxing from 1967 to 1970. The Vietnamese have done no harm to me so that I can fight them. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison and a fine of $10,000 for not going to the Vietnam War. When his license and passport were taken away, he experienced financial difficulties during the trial and declared that he went bankrupt. He earned his living with the help of his family and the money he gave in universities. He won his appeal in 1970 and went back to boxing. In 1971, he played the match of the century with Joe Frazier and lost for the first time in his professional boxing career. Experts agreed that Muhammad Ali, who played only 2 matches after 3.5 years, was not ready for such a difficult match. But he wanted to be champion again as soon as possible. Later, when he lost to Ken Norton with points in the game where his jaw was broken, many people except himself and his relatives thought his career was over. But he persevered and beat the boxers who competed for the title one after another. He defeated Ken Norton and got the rematch. In 1973 he signed with Joe Frazier for the title match. There was only a Joe Frazier-George Foreman match left. Frazier was surprisingly knocked out in 2 rounds. So Ali played with Frazier first and then arranged a match with Foreman and won both matches by knockout. Thus, he would both take the title he lost and show that he was not finished yet. In 1974, Foreman was the 7-1 favorite among bettors, knocked out his opponent in the 8th round with an unexpected tactic, and became the second boxer to regain his deserved title after Floyd Patterson. He became the first boxer to win the world championship 3 times after losing to Spinks in 1978, then defeating his opponent the same year. Having only 2 world boxing federations back then made its value even more different. As of 2008, there were 8 world boxing federations. During Muhammad Ali's active period, the best boxers would face each other in order to get the title. The fact that George Foreman became world champion again after 20 years in 1994 and defended his title many times tells us why the boxing of the period was called Golden 70s in many countries. He left boxing as champion in 1978. Then, in 1984, despite contracting Parkinson's disease, he hit it and lost 2 more matches for big money. Both were world champions of that time and beyond. Former sparring partners Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick. Mohammad Ali, who was defeated only 5 times during his professional period and became the Olympic and world champion, managed to become the only name for all champions up to the age of 36 and won 56 matches, 37 of which were not out. You shouldn't look at him just as a boxer, because he always tried to do better with his strength as well as his personality. 2 days after returning from the 1960 Roman Olympics, when he learned that only whites were served in a restaurant, he threw his gold medal in the Ohio River. At the 1996 Atlanta Olympics, he was replaced by another gold medal. He chose Islam as his religion and did not go to the Vietnam War. He expressed the situation as follows: "I have no problem with them. I ain't got no quarrel with them." For this reason, their title was confiscated and removed from boxing. But he did not give up. During this time, he traveled to universities and explained Islam. He had a close relationship with Malcolm X. He was engaged in productive work.